I just wanted to give you a little bit of an introduction about how the learning curriculum looks like and how we do education here. Probably you mentioned some bits and pieces as you were showing things around, but yeah, so I'm Matej. I'm a learning designer here, which means I create all the curriculum and these kind of things. And I'm also a game developer. A game I'm working on is called Pixel Art Academy, which is about learning how to draw. So yeah, I'm very much interested in education itself and how can we use games and in general how to set things up for learning. So yeah, I have a degree from in education. I was studying in a program called Learning Design and Technology. So it's mainly for how can we put this kind of technology into education. And then previously I had a computer science degree in Slovenia. I'm originally from Slovenia. And so, yeah, where I studied software engineering and I was also teaching assistants for game development. So I've been doing this for a long time. The main thing why we made this place, or the Indie Quest, is literally just, oh yeah, if you can't see. Literally, that's my one goal here, is for you to be able to make your own games. Like that, if that is what you're after, that you wanna, you know, that this is your goal, this is what we're here for, to make sure that it happens. So it's not like coming to school where you will be sort of just focusing on learning something for 1 year and then you can be able to make games. When you come here, you're an indie game developer from day one. You're just as much an indie game developer as everyone else in the house. And yeah, because you're not gonna be studying theory for exams. In fact, there's no exams. Everything is done through project work. So you will, first there is a preparation phase. So if you don't have any previous experience in programming or art, that's completely fine, because we start at zero and then you build up your skills, but very soon you will be starting to work on your own projects. And even in that time, in the preparation phase, you're just working on bits and pieces for games. So everything is based on just what kind of work do you do. So yeah, no exams, none of that kind of stuff. So yeah, that also means that it's very nice if you have an idea what kind of game you want to make, for example. So as you're thinking about over the summer, you know, think about this. What kind of things do you want to do here? So you come with some sort of project in mind. And even if you don't find something specific, or if you have too many ideas, which is also what often happens, it's also okay. Like Johanna, for example, if you just want to explore different types of ideas, how they work out, there's also plenty of opportunity for that, because you will be working on different projects. If you have something specific in mind, you can always find different parts of your project that you make for those projects, or you can try different things out. So from the specifics of what kind of curriculum do we cover, obviously programming is the kind of main thing that makes games interactive, which is what we have over, you know, movies and books and stuff. So programming is you can't go without it. Then you will also create all of your art assets yourself. So you learn all the art. It's up to you. What kind of art do you want to do? You know, 3D modeling, pixel art, whatever. But yeah, you will be making your own art. So you will be in charge of your own game production. Finally, there's production. So you will learn how all of the steps from starting to making a game works out. And the way we design this, and so everything is just projects. All of these things you learn through working on specific games. And the way we are made it work with the Swedish curriculum, because obviously this is an accredited course. So we found different courses in the curriculum that we can give you credits for, because they cover all of these parts. So for example, when you're doing programming, you will also be getting credits for programming 1, programming 2, and applied programming. And similarly for the art parts, you will be getting credit for the graphical illustration, for digital creation courses. And then on the production side, we have 2 business oriented courses. That's Christopher's job, and he's also like you are teaching here at the Tingsryd municipality, and he's coordinating our whole program with the municipality, so he can also answer all of the questions around Swedish funding and these kind of things. Because for me personally, I just care about this part, the learning curriculum. I do make sure that all of this fulfills all of these requirements through the Swedish curriculum to the highest degree. You can ask Johanna. To get as far as the grades go, I make sure that all of it is covered. But as far as I just care that you make your own games. This is just what happens, automatically because you're working on your games. That's kind of how this is. The whole thing is designed. Something that is not in the Swedish curriculum is game design. So this is sort of an extra thing that you get to do here. There's no, you're not going to get any grades for that as far as the Swedish system is concerned. But we do offer, obviously you will be doing game design because you will be working on your own project. And we have things like on Saturdays we have a bonus round where we, for example, watch game developers conference talks or these kind of things that you get to also get exposed to this side, but a lot of it is based on you because as you will be working on your project, you'll see what kind of game design things you will be, faced with, and then you can, obviously you have everyone in the house. We're making a lot of different kinds of games. You get to talk to other people. You can read books about it that we have and stuff like that. Finally, one more thing that I actually think is very important is you will be learning how to learn itself. And that's, I think that's a very important skill to have in 21st century, basically. Something something I really like to think about and I want to pass on is this sort of lifelong learning mentality. And why is this important? Well, if we look at the lifespan of people throughout the ages, we've been living longer and longer and longer. But then the social change, kind of how much time it is between some significant social or technological changes, has been just getting shorter and shorter and shorter. So the old education system that we designed somewhere here in the Industrial Revolution or previously, where you go to school for, 5-10 years, where you're supposed to learn all the knowledge you will ever need in the rest of your life, like that just doesn't work anymore. It worked here because your whole life was the same. But here, as you live here, the technology, the specific technology you're going to be learning in 5 years, it's already going to be outdated. So what you really need to be in the mentality that, hey, what I'm doing here this year, that's actually how the rest of your life is going to look like. Because you never stop learning, like you have to keep up with stuff. So that's why it's very important that you are able to do this. So that's what I was specializing at my master's studies is self-directed learning, which is whenever you choose your own things that you want to study with, basically. Because usually when you go to school, you have these certain things that you have to do, even if you don't have any interest in them. So this gives you the opportunity to, hey, these are the things I'm interested in. This is the things I'm going to learn and find out how am I going to learn them. So the second component is called self-regulated learning. This then means that once you know what you want to learn, you also need to have the skills to be able to do it, because a lot of people are, I wish I could do this. But then, I don't know, they don't know how to organize their life. They don't know how to find learning materials, or a lot of things can go wrong in this process, especially as in adult education. Like all of these sort of online courses, like there's an online course for everything, but they have a completion rate at like 2 to 5% at most. So many people, especially as adults, as we try to learn, kind of real life happens, and then things that you start, you kind of drop off. So yeah, that's why I put a lot of importance on this. That we will be working on also getting you all of the skills that after this you are completely self-independent learner. But it does start with prepared materials at the start, so it's a gradual transition throughout the whole program. At the start you get specific exercise, like specific programs and projects and problems you're supposed to work on, like, hey, today we're doing this, this, this. And then as you get to your own project soon enough, now you're managing your own production and managing what am I going to learn for this, and choosing, hey, do I want to go more, I don't know, in AI or physics, and choosing which courses you're going to take, and making sure that all of that fits into your schedule. One more thing, how we go around facilitating this kind of mentality or this kind of outset is that we use the flipped classroom model. If you haven't heard of this yet, it's getting quite popular nowadays for its obvious benefits. In a nutshell, what it is in a traditional classroom, how it used to be designed. When you go to school, you have a professor, he's lecturing you, kind of like what we're doing right now, and you're just there passively sitting and listening. And then you get homework. They give you homework, and you do that at home alone, where you do the practical stuff. And so in flipped classroom, as the name suggests, this is reversed around. So now you are learning at home, usually through online materials, and in school is where you're doing homework. And in school, basically, you have all the support. Instead of doing it alone at home, here is where you have the support of teachers, of your peers, to actually get help exactly where you need to. So there's a lot of these kind of benefits. Like for example, here, like if you went to a normal school, the lecture goes at its own pace. If you didn't understand something, the lecture goes on. Whereas if you're watching, for example, a video, you can pause it, think about it. Or if it's too boring, like when people talk, it can be slow, you play it on double speed, you know. Like, that's how you get to, like you can customize, basically you really learn at your own pace. So that you don't get bored, or so that you don't have gaps in knowledge. Because that's also what happens is, like on a bigger scale, right? You have, let's say we have programming every Wednesday. If you haven't conquered what we learned previous week, and then here's a new thing that's happening, that's building on top of this, like you won't be able to understand it. And then when you just keep going like this, anytime you have like a hole in understanding, like you're getting a worse and worse understanding later on. And so with this model, you're able to actually have no gaps, because you spend your time on that thing until you master it. And actually, in the whole year so far, everyone is just getting A's at this school, because instead of me having like, okay, now we're gonna have 5 weeks of classes and then an exam, and then you get grades from A to E to F, kind of trying to say, oh, you're a good student or you're a bad student. I really don't like that. I think exams at best, what they're showing you is which of the students the educational system is failing, is not working for. Like the people, because we all learn at different speeds, at different points, different things. You might learn faster at art, you might learn faster at math, or whatever subject it is that kind of more vibes with you. But we all can learn everything. It just takes a little bit of a difference of time. And if you give people this time, they will get there. So yeah, everyone gets just A. Instead of at one point me giving random grades, everyone just works until they get to the point where, okay, I know this, and now we build on top of that. Yes. One more thing why I like this is that this is actually how normal life, like life after school works, right? Like that's why I said when you come here, you're game developers from day one, and like how do we, everyone else in the house, how do we deal with this kind of stuff? Well, whenever you don't know something, you find a YouTube video and watch it, or you find online documentation and you read it. And then if you're having trouble, well, you ask your peers around you, right? So that's why this pretty much is, preparing you for how the rest is going to be. Yes. So yeah, with that said, just to wrap it up, is this school for you? There's a bunch of things we're kind of looking for. First of all, if you wish that, hey, I just want to focus on making games, like that, I know that's how it was for me. as I went through school, I had to learn all of this other stuff, and I was just waiting, when can I finally just work on my games? If that's what you're looking for, well, then this is definitely the place, because you were just doing this for 1 year. And also remember, they're indie games, so it's expected that you will bring your own ideas to this, so that that you're passionate about something that you want to create, right? You have this urge that you just have to do something. Like everyone here in the house, we don't do it because we have to. Like we get up and we work every day because we're happy to do it, right? So that's the kind of like passion that we're looking for making games. One more thing is, it's not going to be easy. So be prepared to put in many hours into this. So that's just something that you have to keep in mind. This is probably going to be, like maybe some of you already have experience with this, but one of the hardest things you can learn is programming and drawing as well. It's like these are two hard fields that you have to put in the time to understand. And what we're looking for me personally, like usually schools that are choosing what kind of students they're going to take, they look at your grades and that kind of stuff, how well you performed in the past. I don't care about any of that. I think, and especially coming out of the system, like I was saying before, you might, for example, math is not for me, I don't like math because, you got bad grades or something. But if you're learning math for making your own game come happen because you use it for vectors and for physics and stuff like that, I think that's completely different. So even if you didn't have good grades before in school, I don't care about that at all. All I care about is how committed you are to this, like how passionate you are about making games and how much prepared you are to put in the work. Because like I said, I think everyone can learn everything. You just have to really want it so that you will put in the hours for that. One more thing, this is a very social place. Obviously, we all live with each other. If you were looking for a community, like some place where everyone kind of shares the same interests with you, that's exactly what you get here. That's one of the best things. That's why most of us come here, so that we are among other game developers. It's a really fantastic experience. I mean, talk to anyone else in the house, you will hear the same thing. You can also, for example, you will find people to collaborate with. Who knows? Maybe you will, your game studio will come out of here with some of your friends that you will make here. That's a very common thing coming to these kind of programs that teams of students get formed. So this is definitely a place to facilitate that. And then finally, one of the, I have this saying, never waste a learning opportunity. Like that's the kind of mindset I like, that, hey, if you don't know something, open up your phone and find it and learn it right there. Like that kind of mindset of always looking to learn more. And not just for knowledge as well. It's also sort of personal growth, personal development. This place you have to have, for example, good social skills. Because you will be working with other people. And we all come from different backgrounds. We have this developed more or less, but this is a place where you come, where you will have to work on this, because you will be living with a lot of other people. You will have to figure out how do you navigate this kind of environment, how to work with others, basically you're trying to become a better version of yourself while you're here. So I expect an open mind. So when you come here, to be prepared to work on yourself, and have an open mind, be willing to try new things as we go through this and grow as you're here. Yes. And some things that we've seen here that can lead to problems. So just to make sure there are no wrong expectations. if you come here just to play games, that's probably not going to be a place for you. Or if you, there's a big difference between playing games and making games. If you haven't experienced that yet, yeah, making games is pretty much problem solving. It's more like playing Sudoku than, I don't know, Call of Duty or something like that. So it's a very different kind of things that you're doing. So it's more like if you play Minecraft, making redstone contraptions. Like you're gonna spend some time on the wiki reading how things work, might watch a YouTube video about how it works, then you're gonna be trying to wire things together, see why it doesn't work, try again, rewire it, and iterate until it does work. Like that's how making games feels like most. So yeah, just something to be prepared for. Also, if you are coming just to learn, for example, programming, because you wanted to make web pages or mobile apps or something like that, like you can learn, you get that knowledge here. You will learn all of the programming and stuff. But all of our curriculum is really geared toward games. All of the assignments are based around games. All of the people living around you are based for games. So we've had some, yeah, if this is the only thing that you care about, then probably also not something for you. Then one more thing is, basically there's no secret formula to success in game development. If you're expecting some sort of cheat sheet or top 10 tips to be an indie game developer, like you will not find that here. Like I said, these are one of the hardest fields, and you simply have to be prepared to put in the work. So what we focus here is instead of on building strong foundation fundamentals, so that you can build on top of that. So a deep understanding, so that you can build on top of that to reach everything. But it will take time. So you will have to learn to have patience. Patience with the learning process, how long things take to learn. Patience with game development, because games take long to make and always take way longer than you expect. Again, you will talk to anyone in the house when they come in for, oh, I'm gonna be here for make a quick game in a year, and then 2-3 years later, you're still working. So you have to be patient. That's the thing. It's like you have to be willing to put in the hours. And that's the thing. That's why I was talking about passion, because that's the only way how you get through game development. That's just how it is. And then finally, yeah, we've had this happen. People sometimes, instead of working from the office, they kind of retreat themselves in their rooms, and that has, in our experience, never ended well. Like both in the IndieQuest and other developers living at the house, eventually people drop off. Like this is really a place that thrives by being around people. And I want to say it's okay if you want to work alone. Like a lot of us are solo game developers. Like we have our own projects. But that's the best part of coming to live at Spelkollektivet, is you have your own project, but you don't want to be alone in your room working on it. Like you come here where you can work on your project and be among other people that are also doing that. So that's completely fine. But yeah, we are also all looking to collaborate with others. You know, be happy. You will be working on a group project together. So that's just something you have to know that's in your future if you come here. So yeah. In a summary, the previous slide, the things that this is for you is, yeah, if you want to come make games, put in the hours and do it with friends and come out a better person. So that's kind of my vision for this. And this sounds exciting for you. This would be the place to go. James, did you want to say any extra words on top of this? Maybe I missed some stuff.
Maybe you could start with explaining the rules of the learning office.
Yes. Yeah, so the learning office, you've been down there. I guess this kind of entails to how your day-to-day life would look like. We have first of all, you're expected to come to stand up at 10 o'clock. Stand-ups are a typical part of agile development, where you try to sync up with your team members. And in this case, even if you're working on your own thing, just to exchange it's nice to know what everyone is working on. If anyone's having any problems on something, you can find help. It's a nice way to exchange things. So that starts at 10, and then kind of work hours go from 10 till 6. There's a 1 hour lunch break, or half an hour, 1 hour. It's usually lunch is at 12, and then until dinner at 6. We also have extra quiet hours before that. So basically from 6 till 6, but basically as soon as you get in the morning, like there are quiet hours. So there's no, like, I don't know, loud gaming and stuff like that. So whenever you're in the office, you're expected to work. That's to encourage everybody to, like, that's what we're trying to help each other. We're trying to be the best version of ourselves. So if you see other people that are working hard, you're going to be working hard. So you want to do the same for others. You want to be working hard to inspire and encourage others to do the same. So that's why we have that in place. And then, after 6, it's okay. We are all here because we love games. So you have that. We also have 2 offices, as you've seen. The outside one has a little bit looser restrictions. So you can play games on the weekends and stuff, whereas the inner one, we also have the learning hours on the weekends, because that is encouraged, especially if, like I said, sometimes you need more time. Or if you're like me, I get up every day because I get to make games, and so I just work on my game every day. So that office is really sort of specialized for if you want to focus the most. And you get a safe space, basically, where you know that everyone will be working hard, and it's an encouraging environment. Did I miss something? But it's good. Yeah.
Otherwise, to add to the previous, so you said you have to be good at social stuff, but obviously you don't have to be an expert on being social human being. But what you have to be is accepting. Like, that's one of the things I really love about this place, is that we accept everyone with their flaws. Everybody here understands that everybody comes from different backgrounds with different skills when it comes to people or whatever. Kristoffer, kan du ta någon? So whether or not you're super smooth with people or not, it's fine. Like, all we expect out of you is that you accept everyone for who they are. If you don't like it, keep it to yourself. Otherwise, just encourage each other to be the best yourselves, okay? There was something else. How do I go back? Can I go back?
Okay. Yeah, you need to slide backwards.
Sorry.
I don't know. How much back do you want to go?
I want to see. I think I had one in the problems thingy, or not two.
This one?
Maybe, yeah. Tick, 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 tick. Oh yeah. So, regarding quick results, I don't know what. I would say it's sort of quick results, considering like Johanna right now is sort of starting her work in our 3rd game. So that's a 3rd game in 1 year. It is pretty quickly. So you are making games while you're here. You're making your first game within the first 6 months. You've already made an arcade game, or no, text-based game, and you've started your arcade game. By arcade game, I mean like a one-screen game where like the screen doesn't move, or something like Asteroids or Galaga. And then at the end of then you have a tech demo in the middle where you learn more how to structure and organize your work. And at the end of that, you start your final project, which is like a more ambitious game project. So it is pretty quickly how you actually get into making games.
What I wanted to say is that there's no cheating. You can't cheat to results. But we are moving quite fast. But the reason why we're fast is because because of the intensity, because we put in the hours and we work hard. That's how you do get to sort of a lot of things done.
Kristoffer, du kanske kan köra en tur med dem.
Ja, jag vet inte hur mycket...
Ja, men kör en tur för vi måste sedan ta det från början med det. And regarding working from your room, yeah, it's like there's a clear statistic where like if you're working from a room, you're gonna feel left out because all the magic happens in the everyday life, and everyday life happens in the office. That's where you meet people, that's where you say hello to people, that's where you find out that, oh, there's a thingy happening tonight or whatever. And if you're stuck in your room, you're not gonna get invited automatically to things. Even if it's posted, you're gonna feel like, should I go to this? Am I invited? So yes, do take part and sit in the offices so people can string you along to stuff and ask you to join in on events, because that's how you know that you feel like you're really welcome everywhere, which you are. So yeah, I think I guess
Press 3 times. You get to hear from. We just made this. Oh yeah, one more, and then one more.
No, I'll start here. My goal for this, my long-term goal for this education is get people here and get them to a point where they can start their own companies, start making their own games, the games that they want to make. So best case scenario for my part is you go through this and by the end of it you found a friend or two and you're working on a game that you're super excited about, and then you start a company together, you become millionaires and whatever, I don't know. Or just are happy and poor. It's up to you. But either way, that you find your passion and are able to fulfill your dreams. We're gonna end this session now with a little video, and then we're gonna have a Q&A. So.
The screen on the camera went black.
Oh.
I don't know.
The battery probably died.
Battery ran out. It's all good.
Yeah, it's just me.
And then one more.
Det var en jättedålig klapp.
Kanon.
Jag heter Johanna Josefsson.
Chris Lundin Johansson. Jag är utbildad fotograf, jobbat som skolfotograf tidigare.
Innan jag kom hit och började plugga spelutveckling så har jag frilansat som ljudtekniker i 7 år. Jobbat med tv, reality och livesändningar.
Jag har alltid haft ett stort intresse av spel och har alltid velat skapa spel, men jag har inte haft någon möjlighet.
Jag har länge tänkt att jag ville lära mig något nytt och att jag ville skapa någonting. Som när jag frilansar som ljudtekniker för tv så är det allt jag gör är baserat på vad andra gör.
Nu så kände jag att det är dags att ta nästa steg och uppfylla min dröm.
Det vore kul att lära sig att göra någonting på egen hand, att skapa något själv.
När jag hittade utbildningen så såg jag att jag behövde inte någon förkunskap eftersom jag inte har haft eller pluggat antingen programmering eller någon grafisk design, så kände jag att det här var perfekt.
Det är roligt att få lära sig så många olika grejer.
I stort sett allt har varit roligt.
Det är kul med programmeringen för att det är logiskt.
Just hur man strukturerar upp ett bra program, en bra arkitektur. I början så var det väldigt huller om buller, jag var lite överallt, men nu när man får mer struktur så känns det mycket bättre och det är något av det roligaste som jag har fått lära mig.
Så det är kul med konstdelen, för då får man vara mer kreativ och jag har aldrig studerat konst tidigare heller, så det är kul att få lära sig så mycket nya grejer.
Det var väldigt underligt att komma hit och bo på ett ställe, just att lämna sitt hem och sen komma hit där man inte känner någon. Men det har gjort studierna mycket roligare och mycket lättare. Jag kan jobba när jag vill, bestämma som sagt mina egna tider.
Det är jätteroligt att bo i ett helt hus fullt med spelutvecklare. Det känns väldigt givande för att lära sig. Jag försöker ju lära mig det som många här redan kan och jobbar med.
Man kan fråga vem som helst så att om det är någonting man behöver hjälp med inom programmering eller grafiskt. Det underlättar väldigt mycket och det är väldigt roligt att höra hur alla har sina upplevelser, om man säger så, erfarenheter där.
Det är en väldig tillgång att bo här.
Så det har varit en väldigt rolig upplevelse.
Jag hoppas att jag kan kombinera att frilansa som ljudtekniker och jobba med tv. Och emellan större projekt så kan jag fokusera på att jobba med ett eget spel.
Jag och mina syskon har planerat att skapa ett eget spelföretag. Nu som jag har gått i denna skolan så har jag fått väldigt mycket bred kunskap. Och det känner jag att det är någonting som jag kommer behöva.
Kul.
Ja, tack då.